Yes, everyone, what's going on? My name is Stephen Howson. This is Full-Time Devils. Manchester United have drawn, technically, with AC Milan in our final pre-season game, taking it to penalties to try and become the International Champions Cup champions of the world, which I'm sure Liverpool might win the Champions League, but they didn't win the Champions Cup champions of the world, did they? So who's better than us? A little bit disappointing that we technically dropped points, if you know what I'm saying. Taking a draw, we didn't keep that winning momentum going all the way throughout pre-season. And I think a draw was probably the fair result on the face of things. We started off excellent in the first half of the first half. We started off excellent in the second half as well. We did all right post the changes a little bit, but in both instances we allowed Milan back into the game. Milan pressed us very well. They dominated the midfield very well, and I think that's an issue that United need to look at. Without Paul Pogba, our midfield looks very ordinary. There is a severe lack of star quality. McTominay had a good game, but he's basically limited in terms of he isn't Paul Pogba. He doesn't have the ability to control a game like Paul Pogba does. He doesn't have the presence of Paul Pogba. And Matic, all I'll say is I hope Matic's games for United, at least from the start, are limited this season, because it looks like his time may have passed. Overall, if I have to sort of kind of review pre-season and be like, do you know what, who's advanced themselves here and who's maybe gone backwards a little bit, I would say Wan-Bissaka was the player of the tournament without a shadow of a doubt. He's been an absolute revelation. I cannot wait to see him over the course of a season, and he would be my favourite for player of the year straight out of the bat. I think Axel Tuanzebe has done himself no harm whatsoever. There was a lot of talk that he was going to be going on loan. I reckon that's probably changed now with the injury to Eric Bailly, and I think he's comfortably, if Maguire signs, our second best centre-half, comfortably. I think he's showing maturity on the ball. He's showing intelligent reading of the game. He looks like a leader. He just needs to get those 100 games under his belt where he can start to really feel confident about what he's doing in the team. But if I have to say any of the academy players, I mean, besides Mason Greenwood, who's took leaps and bounds forward and looks well confident and settled in this side, I think Angel Gomez has really done himself no harm whatsoever. A lot of people saying, do you know what, if we're going to play with a number 10 like this, Angel would be the one for me. There's just absolute flashes of genius in his play. Level of touch that just doesn't exist in a lot of the rest of the squad. But I think the issue with Angel is, especially if you look at what we had in that first half with Matic and McTominay, unless you've got a team that's going to work around him, I think he will struggle. And I've seen it many a time in the academy when you come up against a team that's willing to scrap for you. He's not the player for that moment. He's the player when you're probably going to dominate the ball. If he was a player in Manchester City's academy that was getting minutes at the moment, he would look amazing in a team like that dominates the ball the way City do. If United had someone like an Ndidi that could sweep up, and then a Pogba that could run the game, and his other midfielder in that was Angel Gomez, he would look sensational, because he would have people to do the work for him, and then he would be allowed to just play his game. I still think we need goals. I'm not sure Dybala is the answer to that. I'm not sure Mandzukic is the answer to that. It looks very much like Lukaku wants to go. I mean, he's even saying he wants to go and play for the Lakers rather than play for us. So I think he's going to go, and he does need replacing. I'm a big fan of Mason. I think a sensational season for Mason would be 10 goals. And we do need more than that. You're asking for a record-breaking season at a Marshall for him to get 20 and probably still be criticised. Same for Marcus Rashford. If he gets 20, he's still going to be criticised. And that would be a record-breaking season for both of those if they manage to achieve that. And I still don't think it's enough. I think we probably need goals either from midfield, or we need to bring in another forward that's going to contribute 10 to 12 goals. If that was someone like Gareth Bale, sound. Can Dybala do that? Yeah, maybe. He's shown he can do those sorts of numbers in Serie A. Can that translate to the Premier League? I think it probably can. I think people score a lot less goals in Serie A than they do elsewhere. But I'm not sure signing a player who doesn't want to be here is a good idea. I'd rather us sign players who want to be here, that are psyched to be here, that this is the peak of the mountain for them, is to play for Manchester United. 1 week left to go in the season. I can't say I'm confident going into it. I think we've addressed the centre-half and right-back issues very well. But I still think we probably need a midfielder. Today's game with Matic showed me the reason why someone like Sean Longstaff's being looked at, just for a couple of very specific areas of his game, one, taking the ball from the keeper under pressure where Matic give the ball away, that's something that you've got to be able to do, and there's no excuse to not be able to do that. And I think more goals up top. If we finish this window bringing in someone like Longstaff and either Dybala or Fernandes, because a lot of people are saying, why can't we get both? Well, I don't know where you've been for the last 10 years or something. United aren't going to get both. It's just not what our board's going to do. So don't set yourself up for that heartbreak when we don't get both. We will probably get one or the other. We're definitely not going to get both. And if we do, sweet, because that shows a real intent, but we're not going to get both. So I think the best we could hope for, probably send Lukaku to Juventus and bring Dybala back, even though I've got my reservations. Sign someone like Sean Longstaff and see what we can go into the season with a couple of additions from the academy like Mason Greenwood and Angel Gomez and Axel Tuanzebe. Let's see how they do. That's it from me. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.